Are you trying to figure out how to get things done? Are you trying to look for knowledge that can actually help you do something, be better at what you do? Hi, I'm Joyce Mbaya, founder of ZD, where we provide affordable online courses for Africa. This is the place for you, the ZD podcast, where we have inspiring conversations with amazing people. And the ultimate goal is to help you know more so you can do more.
Welcome to the ZD podcast. I am Rhoda, co-founder of ZD, and today, inspired by a leadership training that I'm going through, I want to talk about work and changing the misconception that work is this tedious thing that we need to do, and at some point we can stop and do nothing. You know, the whole mentality of I'm working hard to retire early and do absolutely nothing. And I think it's something that we picked up either consciously or unconsciously, and it's just a narrative that has been passed through for years and years. So one thing that was really interesting to learn is, and you pick this up over a period of years, and it's that you never actually stop working. What you can do is maybe retire, and now work is something that you do just to keep yourself busy. But let me break it down easier now. So we basically need to reconfigure how we understand work. Work is supposed to be productive. It's supposed to be fruitful. Right? And sometimes when you have the luck, and the clarity and the discernment to discover what it is that you enjoy doing and are able to be fruitful with that, that doesn't mean that it's not work. It's still going to take a level of effort. It's still going to take your energy. It's still going to take your time. It's not going to be sunshine and daisies and rainbows all through. There will be difficult moments, and that's all part of work, right? And for some people, you are working in a field, an area, an organization that you truly, truly do not enjoy being in. And that is also considered work. The only difference is the level of enjoyment due to the fruitfulness, and does that fruitfulness add purpose to your life? So think about it in this way as well. And this is really interesting to understand. The human body was not created to not work. Of course, you have moments where you just think, oh my God, one day I will sleep and do absolutely nothing, like wake up and eat and drink and go back to sleep and wake up. Or at some point, maybe try and sleep for 24 hours, 48 hours. But the thing is, if you look at even patients who are, say, in a coma, if you decided to not move, not work your muscles, not just be static, several things happen. Of course, your life is affected, your health is affected. You can get sores, your muscles can atrophy, like your muscles basically are almost zero. And have you ever slept until you wake up and you feel exhausted because you've been sleeping the whole day? That means we are not built to not be active, to not be fruitful and not be productive. Now, don't get me wrong. This doesn't mean that work is all that life is. Finding the right balance for yourself, because this looks different for different people. In fact, I try not to use the word balance, but finding a good combination of work and rest is essential for life, for productivity, fruitfulness, and just to live a good quality life. So that doesn't mean that you work until your body shuts down and you have to sleep for 48 hours just to regroup. It means finding the balance of actually waking up, being active, working out, being productive, being fruitful, and then having down times where you actually rest, because rest gives you time to reflect. It gives you time to stop and think, this is what I did. This is good. Or maybe I need to improve on this. So it's finding that right combination, but also the root of it is work is not something that we escape. It is something that we were created to do. And changing the perception of, or the description of what work is, will help you as you go through your daily life. So I would give a really good example of, and even if you're not Christian, bear with me, right? This is a reference even in terms of literature. So as you go through the process of, let's say, Genesis, you see when they say God created the world and he created man. So one key thing that always comes through is after he had created, then you were told to go forth, right? And Adam and Eve were told, okay, you can go ahead and name the creatures and go forth and subdue the earth, basically meaning that you are responsible for the earth. And that responsibility does not necessarily mean that you're going to be sleeping. I mean, think about it. If you live in a house, you will constantly have to do levels, a few things here and there for upkeep. Even if you were living in the garden, right? It's not, which it can be a whole forest, but the vision of a garden is essential because in a garden, it's not just that you let everything grow wayward. You'll need to prune, you'll need to plant, you'll need to cut, you'll need to sow. There's so many things that you need to do when you are in a garden, and that's the same example. And now the element of finding balance is how, for the Christians, they say that God basically emulated what work should look like. Because if he is God, and he is God, he could have just snapped his fingers and created everything in one go. But the reason that it was systematically broken down is for us to emulate the working structure where it is you create on one day, create on another day, create on the next. And on the seventh day, you rest, look back at your work and say, this is good. So also thinking about work in terms of productivity and fruitfulness is, are you being creative? Are you stopping the business as usual mindset where you're basically just trying to survive? Are you taking a pause and reflecting on your work and seeing, am I being creative, or where can I be creative? Where can I add an element? Where can I innovate? And this doesn't necessarily have to be in gigantic things. It can be as simple as you work on Excel sheets all day and night. Maybe try and change one of the columns colors, or you're constantly doing presentations. Is there a new software that I can explore using? Or maybe just different fonts. It can be from the smallest things to the largest things. And the thing about work becoming mundane and boring is when you are just working and not evolving, not changing, not adding on different elements. And sometimes I understand that it can be very challenging, especially if you are in a culture where change is not really embraced. It's like, why are you doing something different? And this can really hamper you. So what I would challenge you to do is find something where you can have a creative hand in. Find a project, big or small, something just for you, especially if you're not able to get an outlet for that at your workplace during the week. Because even that place where you are being creative and you're enjoying yourself and finding a way to get those creative juices flowing, that's also work, right? It's just a way for you to be productive and fruitful. The only difference is that you are now enjoying the fruitfulness. There is purpose behind it. So today's short podcast, because this is not very long, I've already run out of words, is changing your perception and understanding of work and realizing that you were created to work, and work means you were created to be productive, you were created to be fruitful. How, where, when, why is up to you. But at the end of the day, work is not something that we should strive to escape, but rather find a very nice combination that brings us, helps us understand our purpose, is fruitful, is productive, and you're still able to rest within that process so that you don't burn out. So I hope that made sense, and it was not just ramblings. I hope that it came through as it has in my mind. And that's it for today. Change your perception of work and the label of work and your understanding of work, and realize that it is not something to escape. Even your 70-year-old grandfather always has a project or another that they're doing, and that is work because it brings them joy and they are productive. If you were to just lie down and do nothing, you would slowly die. This week's episode has come to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like and share, comment, get involved. Let us know what you think, what you want to learn next, and join us next time.